chaos unfurl. The energy's electric, the passion's on fire. Kicking out podcasts, streaming higher and higher.
What's going on, everybody? It's Sunday night. It's March 30th, 2025. Hard to believe we're practically in April already, but here we are. Brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast, streaming live on the Kicking Out Podcast Facebook page and YouTube channel. Hit that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live or dropping any new video. I'm Tanner Lee, co-host, the reigning, defending, not for much longer, KLP predictions champion, the Shep,
Correct.
Austin Shepherd in the house. And
Correct.
we are
Correct.
we are pleased to be joined by our good friend of Between Two Beards, JPJ. JPJ, what's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight, my friend.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this. Been looking forward to the next few weeks. I know you had my boy Pluggo with you guys last week, and he did admirably. So shout out to him. We love him. But yeah,
he was a gamer, man. He was under the weather. He still,
I know.
He
feeling well. Yeah,
he went right through it, man. Good for
I know.
him.
He texted me. He was like, "Oh, I've been dying all weekend." I'm like, "Well, you didn't see it. You didn't seem like it. You didn't seem like it. You
No.
seemed like you." He had that was his flu game. That was his Jordan flu game. That's what that was. So no, he did good and he got through it. But yeah, no, I've been looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to next week doing some picks with you guys for Dynasty. So I'm ready for the next couple weeks. Just a good time. It's the best time of year for wrestling.
It is.
You know?
Mania season, of course.
Yeah.
AEW's rocking and rolling. And
Hey, JPJ, you're
coming there.
Boston
They're
guy.
coming to my neck of the woods, AEW, for some big shows soon.
Mhm.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hey, you're used to finishing in second place, so I mean,
Excuse me, what? Second?
second place.
Have you not
baby.
paid attention for the last 23 years in sports? We have finished in first more than most people.
yeah, Shep,
All
I'm thinking about your sports teams. I'm like, you have nothing to stand on here.
I have
don't
an
know where you're
area
going
that
with this.
nobody can,
I got
certain
nothing.
teams maybe. But
I got nothing.
yeah. So you don't want to go down that path.
What's going on, Steven? Good to see you in the chat again. Steffi says, I do not know where Majin is. And then there's Majin right there. Last week we had that bum Pluggo. Now it's the other bum, JPJ.
Wow.
Sure, I'm sure. Good to
Why-
see you too.
Does Majin just hate everybody?
I think he does.
Haters are gonna hate, right? That's what they say. Haters are gonna hate.
I
So
think he does.
you know.
Brandon James, Owen Hart is going to be great this year. Yeah, that's the
Loaded.
title of tonight's show. It's going to be epic. That
Yep.
both the women's and men's is gonna
Yep.
it's gonna be awesome. It's
Mhm.
gonna be awesome for
For
sure.
sure.
For sure. But before we get too down in the weeds, talking AEW, Dynamite, wrestling, all that good stuff, Shep, usually Paul asks you this, but he's not here tonight. So I got to find a graphic here. What we drinking tonight?
We got something special. We got a little 99 bananas. Which
Oh,
actually it's 99 fruit punch.
I was gonna say that is not banana.
No,
Red.
the brand is
99. Well, I do remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
alcohol 99 bananas. That was the one that.
But this is 99
Yeah.
fruit punch.
Okay.
I
Okay.
had to go restock yesterday, and they were like, these things are like 50 cents by the counter, and I'm like, I gotta buy one, right? So I bought 4. So we got a little 99 fruit punch. Never tried it before, so here we go. Salute.
Hope this is better than some of the other stuff you've tried in the past.
I mean, that's gonna taste like non-alcohol. That's gonna taste like a sweet lollipop.
Yeah.
Listen,
99
99 bananas and that type of stuff. I vividly remember when, not saying illegally anything, but when I was in high school and we would go to parties, 99 bananas was there
Yeah.
for the people who wanted to drink but didn't want to taste anything like they were drinking. That's what 99 bananas was there for. So
99 fruit punch is not as smooth.
got it. Got it.
Oh, good stuff.
I don't need to, it's getting cold over here in northern Indiana, but I don't need to turn the furnace on right now, if that tells you anything.
Is it burning going down? It's burning.
Yeah.
Burn.
Is
But
it
not the-
better than
not
that
the good
blue
burn.
lightning stuff you
Oh
had?
god, yeah, it's better than Blue Lightning.
What was that? Was that an all-time bad? The Blue Lightning? Is that the worst?
Yeah,
one so far?
it was a moonshine. And
Oh, that's never good. Well, not never, but that's you gotta.
Well,
you
the
gotta pick that.
funny story there, JPJ. The week before, this was back when I had first joined this illustrious podcast, and I had bought the fruit punch version of these little moonshine shooters or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I shoot it, and I'm like, oh my god, it tastes like candy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like we were talking about before. So the next week, walked into said liquor store, and there's the fruit punch ones, and then there's these things called Blue Lightning. I'm like, well, I like blue raspberry, right? I'll take it. so right here, I figured it was blue raspberry. It was not. It was like 120 proof.
yeah, it was pretty strong.
Really?
And it was, it was. Oh, I took it, and I know Tanner put it on social media throughout the week. How my reaction was. I think I had a little tear coming down the eye.
Yeah. Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah, nipples got a little hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, man, it happens. It happens. Listen, we've all been there.
So
Anyone's pretending. What? So what? All right. Can I ask you guys something? Because I know we're going to talk about some wrestling here soon. But what was the first terrible alcohol that like you guys were into? Whether it was when we all first started drinking, if it was in high school, college, whatever. Like because we're all poor at that time. You can't go buy the important big stuff. Like, what was the first cheap alcohol that was like the go-to besides cheap beer?
Yeah.
So, did any of you guys ever drink Aftershock?
Oh yeah,
I did not.
That'll kill you. That'll kill you.
It was Aftershock. It was that cinnamon stuff.
It was like Fireball before Fireball.
Yeah, it had that candy in the bottom of it. Oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aftershock was mine.
That's a really good question. I'm trying to think.
I not that I even like, now I'm a gin man. I like gin. A good gin drink is like that. If I'm I usually listen. I do have the big beard and the glasses and the hats. I am a craft IPA. Like I am that type of guy. I'm not a snob like that, but like I do like a good IPA, especially coming in the spring and summer. But like if I'm drinking liquor, I want like a good gin drink. But when I first started drinking, I liked vodka, and it was like $8 plastic bottle Caldwell's vodka. And it was awful. It tasted like rubbing alcohol, but it got the job done.
You can clean the trailer hitch with that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Skull vodka was probably mine. Now I of course won't even touch it.
Yeah,
but
of course not.
Back when you're first drinking, you get whatever's cheapest, right? So,
of course you had to.
You mix it with that grape juice or
Yep.
That's
whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not a gin guy. I've tried gin. I can't get myself to enjoy it.
Me neither.
So as a gin drinker, what's a cocktail you recommend?
Gin and lemonade, baby.
Gin and lemonade. I've never
nice
tried
and easy, man. I'm a Hendrix guy. I like Hendrix.
Yeah.
But like Sapphire, like Bombay, Sapphire, they're fine too. But if you can afford the extra, $1.25 or whatever they'll charge you, Hendrix is my preferred. But yeah, no, just a little gin and look at it. A good gin and tonic is good as well.
Okay.
If you can get a good gin or gin and 7-Up as well. So here's the thing: when you go to Europe, I went to Ireland for the first time last year, and I wanted gin and lemonades, but the lemonade over there was 7-Up. So they give you like a little 1 liter 7-Up bottle and a glass with ice and gin, and you kind of do it yourself over there. And I was in heaven for a week. It's all I drank. I drank that, and then I drank like Guinness and stuff because I was in Ireland. But like that, I drank Smittix. Yeah. Smittix was actually the beer of choice for the week.
I like Smittix.
Oh,
I like Smittix.
I love it. So gin and 7-Up or gin and lemonade. So if you like it a little less sweet, I would go the 7-Up route. But if you can deal with a little sweetness of like a lemonade sweet, it just works with it's a little piney, but the lemonade and sweetness dulls the pine. Because I feel like gin.
I gotta try it.
I feel like gin is a liquor that the pine is very strong. So if you don't like that, you're going to hate it right away. And I hated it when I first started trying it early on, but now I appreciate it.
You got anything special drinking tonight, JPJ?
Good old H2O, baby.
H2O. That's what Stephen Chambers here in the chat's
Yeah.
got H2O.
Yeah.
I am trying. Shep knows I'm a fan of garage beer, but I haven't had the lime one yet, and I found a lime one in the store today. So
Lime.
gotta try the
All
lime
right.
garage beer.
Like a good shandy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Line,
Hey.
like line and
Hey,
cool summer shandy. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Last Friday, I'm pulling into my coffee spot every morning,
Mm.
and I look back and I see old Tanner pulling in the garage in the parking lot of the bank he works for, and I'm just like, son of a bitch! I should have told him to get me a case of garage beer.
Yeah,
Mm.
I completely forgot.
they got it at Meyer up here. So
next Friday you're coming to town, right?
yep.
All right, give me a
Text
case.
me and remind me. Oh, do you want lime or the original?
Yep, I want one of each.
Okay, all right, I can do that. Just
all right,
text
I
me and
like
remind me.
Yes.
Text me and
yes.
remind me.
Yeah,
I'll
you
do
want
it.
to get me talking? We could talk coffee all day.
I mean, I'm gonna be taking the belt off you, so that's the least I can do.
First of all,
Wow.
I'm involved, and I don't know if you remember the last time I was involved. I believe I went to a perfect record,
yeah,
and then I had to do
Cheers.
some tiebreaker because the rules were fixed a certain way.
Yeah.
Some guy thought he had some privilege.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one
Yeah.
to talk now. Revolution, you and I tied, Shep, and went your way. Now you're liking the champions advantage.
Exactly,
So, I mean,
exactly.
look at that.
Well, it was karma. It came back. It came
Yeah.
back.
We got some comments here to catch up on real quick.
do
Majin
it.
saying, no, I don't like JPJ people from Boston. I don't like Mercedes. I don't like Cena. I don't like JPJ. Then he says,
People don't like people of
and-
class.
Pluggo is just a bum. Pluggo's not even here to defend himself.
Like, what the hell? Why is Pluggo catching strays? What the hell did he do? Besides being one of the nicest dudes ever. Like, what the hell did Pluggo do? Honestly.
He's
Steven
nicer
said
than Paul.
He's nicer than all of us.
Yeah, he is. Steven
Maybe
said
not
Majin
Tanner,
needs some caffeine. Steffi said that Majin hates all non-Canadians.
I mean, she's not wrong there.
Majin calling us out for all of our hosts haven't been present a lot this year. Stephen Chambers said Jaeger bombs nasty as hell.
Oh, I love Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs,
Jaeger
I
bombs.
did back in the day. I haven't done them. You know, it was a thing me and one of my buddies used to do when we'd go, usually once a weekend we'd go out drinking in our 20s, like either Friday or Saturday. We'd get a crew together, we'd go out. We always started with an Irish car bomb. We always started with an Irish car bomb.
They're so smooth.
Yeah, that's what we do. We're like, all right, we're getting an Irish car bomb. Then we would actually order what we were like drinking for the evening.
Let's see here. Stephen Chambers said picture Shep rapping gin and juice.
Hell yeah.
Gin
Has anybody
and
tried the
juice.
gin and juice can? Like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, I think, came out with like a canned liquor drink called gin and juice.
It's not around me. I've looked. Hopefully, Tanner's in a bigger city than me.
Yeah,
He should
I have
be
yet
able
to try
find
them
it.
as well.
But I think I've seen it. I want to try it
I can
me
look
too.
for it.
just because that music was my nostalgia, right? It was.
Hell
It
yeah.
was.
Steffi, who won the NASCAR race, and Steven says Denny Hamlin, which I did
Which
see
I
that
have
event.
not even looked. I'm looking at my DraftKings right now to see if I've even made any money, and it looks like I haven't. My lineup sucked. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. No.
Oh, speaking of nostalgia, again, this has nothing to do with professional wrestling, and we're gonna get there. I promise you. guys.
Yeah. Only 15 minutes in. But
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna have a good
No.
time. Why not?
So Tanner saw this. You
Oh,
saw
boy.
that Bryson DeChambeau has signed with Reebok,
Yes.
and
Footwear
trying
deal.
to.
Mhm.
And I think Shaq's involved too. But,
Yeah, he's been a Reebok guy for a while.
but they're trying to rebring the brand.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And if you remember, there's two shoes in my era. You're a little younger than me, but I'll still give you that era. There's two shoes that are iconic of Reebok. Can you name them?
Well, Reebok did the Jordans first, right?
No.
Did-
You're close. You're
Did
close.
Penny Hardaway have a Reebok?
No, but you're talking about a guy that doesn't
Starberry.
like practice.
Stephon Marbury.
No, you're talking about a guy that doesn't
Iverson.
like practice.
Yeah.
The answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Iverson.
threes.
Yeah.
Answer. And then what's the other one?
I'm not gonna know. Oh, the pumps.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
McGrady.
Are they bringing
right?
the pumps back?
they brought the pumps back on golf side.
No, that's not true.
Wow.
Yes.
I did
So
not see that.
I have a pair. If I want to give my lazy ass and walk around the corner, my Iverson Answer golf shoes just got delivered the other day. They have the pump golf shoes on the market. DeChambeau's wearing them.
Hell yeah.
But I'm just like, the Answer, like, I'm a middle school, high school kid. I wore the Answers to school, man. The honeycombs, right?
Yeah.
That's what we wore. Like, we were the cool kids.
Yeah. I wore Jordans.
Hell.
It was like the only nice thing my parents bought for me were these nice pairs of Jordans, because I also went to a Catholic school, so I couldn't wear fancy. I had to wear bullshit.
So you were
because we had uniforms, shirt and tie, pants, and brown or black fucking shoes.
Yeah.
Like, go F yourself.
Yeah.
Uniform bullshit. But I went there, and I was a good boy. I was an altar boy as well. That's right. The best altar boy. What side, whatever. But I had Jordans. That was it. But then once I got old enough, I was a punk, like Vans. I've been a Vans child.
Oh, I got my most comfortable pair of shoes are Vans.
Oh, love them. I had all different colors, all different like Vans for days. But
I'm not a skateboard guy, but I still like Vans.
So. Yeah.
I was too fat for the skateboard. Couldn't maintain the balance. It is what it is.
Yep. Steven Chambers said, watch Cena wearing them at Mania.
The Answers?
The pumps.
The pumps? All right.
I don't know. I feel like not this Cena.
Yeah.
But who knows?
My birthday's tomorrow, but I bought my girl's book to start reading today. And his girl.
Just because it's your birthday tomorrow doesn't mean I'm going to be nice to you.
Nope.
Just so you know.
And his girl is Saraya, and that was one of the topics I wanted to talk about tonight, so we can jump right into it. Saraya's time with AEW is done. She extended her contract back in September, but AEW never used her since she extended. What did you guys think of her time with AEW? What was good? What was bad? And what do you think could be next for her career?
She's young.
Yeah.
Okay. She's young. She got her moment of fame where she won the AEW women's title in her hometown.
Yep.
Her family was sitting front row. I loved it. It was a great moment. She's a good performer. But I think she's a performer that you need her to work every week, every other week to keep her momentum going. It didn't happen in AEW. I get it. I wish her nothing but the best. I hope we see her in other promotions because I think she's in her early 30s. She's still got a ton of time left. So if we see her, I don't think we'll see her in TNA. I'm hoping we see her in NXT, maybe WWE again. She's too good not to be. So I hope we see one more run for her somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm glad she seems to have her life straightened out now compared to years ago.
Well, the singer that she was with,
she got rid of that bum.
Yeah. About time.
I know she struggled with sobriety and stuff like that. And I don't know the band that this guy plays. I know he has a song with Jelly Roll. That's the only reason I know his ass.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything. But obviously it wasn't a good fit for her. So whatever she finds in the future, I hope it fits with her sobriety and she succeeds. She's got a shit ton of talent. Let's be honest. She's got a great shit ton of talent.
She was essential to listen. You go to those early takeovers in NXT. It wasn't Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley running the show. It was Emma, Paige. Paige was the main. She was the attraction for the women's division when NXT was getting going. They had Natalya going down there as kind of the veteran and things like that. But it was Emma and Paige that really were the catalysts of that first generation of NXT when they started really focusing on women's wrestling down in NXT. You could go see good women's matches if you weren't being satisfied on the main roster. And she was essential to that when she came up and beat AJ for the title in her first night. Like, that's how they viewed her. And then, her debut in AEW was excellent. She debuted at Grand Slam. She got a gigantic pop. It was a Britt Baker thing, and Britt was at the top of the division at that point. And like Shep said, she got her great moment of winning the title in her hometown. And then it was just the consistency was really what it was. They just didn't consistently use her really. And then they threw together in that little group that she was in, the Social Outcasts, which they had some good stuff, but then it was just inconsistent. And it was like, okay. And that's a group that should have succeeded with the people that were in that group. You know what I mean? And it was just inconsistent booking. And, she said she's not done with wrestling. She started so young that she still is young, like Shep said. So that's a good thing. I think it's a no-brainer for her to end up back over in WWE somehow at some point, maybe not right away. She just started a podcast that is getting good reception. She has the book, so like she could do her own thing for a while. But I think if she does get that itch and wants to come back, I feel like it's a natural fit that Triple H would obviously entertain the idea of bringing her back. Triple H was the guy that kind of was booking her when she first became Paige, so.
Chief here on YouTube said, "Do you guys think Saraya was wrestling scared because of the neck or not performing weekly had something to do with it?"
I don't think so. Like she had some really good matches where I felt like she wasn't protecting the neck. It wasn't obvious that she was going, she was avoiding that. She did some table spots early on and kind of got you thinking like, okay, she's not worried about the neck. So I don't think that's the reason. I hope that's not the reason. But if that really is the reason, can you blame her? Right?
No,
not at all. Yeah. Not at all.
Stephen Chambers said WWE is going back to England in August for Clash in Paris. So it'd be the perfect for her to return. Go back to Europe for that. So,
if they wanted to do that, that would be a good time.
Obviously, WWE in the last 2.5 weeks have had a hell of a run overseas.
Those fans, man, putting the U.S. fans to shame.
They're relying on them too.
Holy shit!
Some of these shows have been oof. They're relying on those fans, and those fans are balling out, man. They're balling out. Every one of those places, they are going nuts.
Yeah, the Build to Mania, in my opinion, has been a little but the fans have been good. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the Build to Mania a little bit what you're saying down? Is it because it's not in America live on television the normal times that you're used to?
I think that's got a lot to do with it.
I think that has a lot to do with it. And I think, listen, there have been good things on all of these shows. There have been good things on all of these shows, but the quality, especially with Raw, because SmackDown has kind of been not great for a little bit here.
No,
the quality of Raw before they went over to Europe, the quality that we got that like month was like, it was clearly the best wrestling show, maybe on television. And then there's been good things. The Cena stuff is obviously a giant deal, and I thought they've been knocking that out of the park. But other than that, the matches have been good, and there's been other good. It's just, it doesn't feel, besides the crowd, which is why I say they're relying on the crowd for these shows. I think it's, I'm not one of those people that has hated it. I just think it's been a smidge underwhelming.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
A smidge. I do expect them to ramp it up though the last 2 weeks when they're back in the States and it's back on 8 p.m. Like I think we're gonna ramp it up.
So real quick, I know this is an AEW podcast and we go down rabbit holes. Sorry, JPJ. We're random.
You don't have to apologize to me.
What do you guys think of Cena's promo this past Monday where he went off? I want to know your guys' thoughts, and then I have a story to tell you once I hear your thoughts.
Go ahead, JPJ.
All right. I like what Cena's doing. I like how they didn't change a thing. And I was one of those people that was like, oh, they're gonna at least do new music or something
I
like
was
that.
too.
But when you hear it, when we've heard him talk the last few weeks, it makes sense why they didn't change a thing. And I think he's really knocking it out of the park. I love the reference to the spinner belt because I was one of those guys that was like, F that ridiculous thing there. What is that? A spinning championship? What? I thought he was going to say he was going to bring it back. If he wins it, I thought he was going to bring it back. Mm-hmm. But I like what they're doing. I just think it's been 2 weeks of the same thing, kind of.
Yeah. That it's kind of redundant. I mean, he's had the same message to the crowd.
Yes.
Your guy's fault, and he hasn't really said anything to Cody. I want to see a little more fire out of Cody. I mean, where's that fire from him? I mean, he got his ass beat at Elimination Chamber.
Mhm.
He hasn't really been too fired up yet. Of course,
And-
the crowds have helped with
Oh,
hating
yeah.
Cena, love, and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Not
And
to try
I
to-
also think like Cena still hasn't addressed
The Rock.
like he's addressed the crowd, right? These 2 weeks have been him addressing us. Like, hey, this is why I did what I did because of you guys. He really still hasn't addressed Cody, and he hasn't addressed The Rock at all. And
Yeah.
we have, 3 more Raws, including, the one tomorrow. And he hasn't addressed like why he aligned with The Rock. We know it's because he wants to win the title, but like him and The Rock have a history. Like he hasn't addressed that. He hasn't really talked to Cody. He called him kid that first night, and Cody snapped. And then Cody came back out last week, and Cena didn't say another word. So it's like they've already booked the face-to-face again tomorrow. So that's 3 straight weeks. We're going to have these guys in the ring face-to-face. Something needs to be different tomorrow. I need Cena to lace into Cody tomorrow. Or I need Cena to make Cody start to question, hey, you are me, buddy. I know exactly what you're going through because you are me. Like, make Cody, I want Cody standing there with that goof, and I love Cody, but with that goofy, puzzled Cody Rhodes look at the end of the promo. That's what I need. I need something different.
So I like both answers there. But what happened was last night was hanging out with some friends. We were watching the Indiana high school basketball championship, right? And we had 3A and 4A games going on. In the middle of these games, my buddy's 3.5, 4-year-old son, he comes running up. He's got this cape on, and he starts yelling at the fireplace about how he hates John Cena. And I'm like, dude, what is he talking about? Like, I heard him say John Cena, like, I hate you, John Cena. And he's yelling at the fireplace. Well, his mom comes in and said, well, Joel let him watch Monday Night Raw on Netflix yesterday. And I'm like, he watched the promo. And all of a sudden, this 4-year-old kid realizes he listened to that promo and says, wait a minute, I'm a 4-year-old. John Cena hates me, so I'm going to hate John Cena. And I was just like I looked at my wife, and my wife's just shaking her head because she knows me. I'm a degenerate, right? I'm a 42-year-old guy. I love this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, it worked. Like, he made a 4-year-old kid believe that he's got to hate John Cena. And John Cena was the biggest babyface in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But he just looked at those kids and said, I hate you. You hate me. It was unreal.
These people over there, well, they're going back there in a couple months, so maybe not. But these people over there are potentially seeing John Cena, a guy that they've grown up with, they've idolized for 20 years. This is the last time they're seeing this guy, and they are booing him out of these buildings. He's getting the Na 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 song 2 weeks ago. The last time those people in Belgium are ever seeing the biggest hero maybe in the history of the company. And they're singing him off. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out, buddy.
Yep.
See you later.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. It is
Unbelievable.
crazy. It's just bananas how well this has been perceived. Whether you like it or not, that is insane when you think about that.
No, absolutely. And that's awesome, Shep. I love that story you just shared.
Great story.
That's really cool. That's really cool. All right before we get into AEW talk, because I see the comments. I know we are AEW focused podcast. We're getting there, people.
Blame it on me. I go down rabbit holes. Sorry.
I do want to put some wrestling on behind me. It is Mania season, so somebody give me a Mania to turn on.
Oh,
what Mania?
You want an old school one, or you want what one you looking for?
Whatever. I got
WrestleMania. I would go WrestleMania 6.
6. All right.
Ooh.
Skydome, baby.
Yeah.
Warrior Hogan. Do it. That was my first favorite WrestleMania.
There we go. I still hate how they call them seasons on Peacock. Drives me nuts.
I like 3, but Three's a good one.
I think the anniversary of 3 was yesterday or Friday, I think.
Yeah. Pluggo wants us to talk NWA. He's
No.
getting sick and tired of this.
Nope. I will not talk Billy Corgan. Nope. Not doing
Not a
that.
Smashing Pumpkins guy.
They got
I
they got
did
the Crockett Cup coming up.
Yeah.
I did see them live with Green Day in September. They were better live than I expected. So
Pumpkins, I can imagine they're going to be
Yeah.
professional musicians. Like,
Yeah.
come on, they've been doing this so long.
Yeah.
You get those bands that like they're going to slay every time because they're
Yeah.
just they've been doing it for so long. They're professional, just like at what they do. You know.
I got more against Billy as a booker
Oh,
than I do as a musician, I should say. But
Yeah.
well, let's get into AEW, shall we? Dynamite this week was, I thought, pretty good. I thought Collision was really good
really
last
good.
night.
Mhm.
Collision I thought was better than Dynamite this week.
I had a little problem with Collision, but we'll get there.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Yes, I do. But
Yeah.
I like how we're getting into this routine of Kenny Omega kicking off Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Whether it's a promo or a match, you're gonna get something strong out of Kenny, one of the company's biggest stars, one of the EVPs. Good way to start off the show. Kind of a random match with Blake Christian, but I still enjoyed it.
I like Blake Christian. I like him. I've liked him in GCW for years. He's been in ROH for a while. I know he got a 10-minute match with Omega, which is okay. We are on Dynamite, but I think Blake Christian is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking over your shoulder, and it's Gorilla Monsoon and
Jesse
Bond. What a great pair! What a great freaking
Gorilla. Look, there's nobody that will ever be better to me. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not one of these. Oh, the old days were the best. They were not. We are in a golden age now, and what we're doing, right? But like, nobody will ever be better than Gorilla and Bobby Heenan to me. But Gorilla and Jesse the Body don't get talked about enough of how good they were together as well. Ventura, and he shows it a little bit on these Saturday night main events. He sounds a little bit, but Ventura was excellent. Was excellent as well.
Yeah. Sorry, not to bring you up, not to go down a rabbit hole, Tanner.
That's all good. It's all good.
No. I thought, look, I agree with the sentiments of Blake Christian 1000%. Like that guy is as good as it gets in the ring. He's a future star for them if they see him that way, 100%. It feels good. It just feels good to have Kenny back. To see him back regularly. It's like it's just the show feels different.
It does
when Kenny Omega is there, and not many people, and they have a great roster, obviously, but he's one of the few guys where it feels that way. It feels that way.
He's presented big time. He's a title holder right now, which gold looks good on Kenny at any time.
100%. And I thought this match was perfect. It was 10 minutes. It was back and forth for a little bit, but at the end of the day, Kenny kind of dominated the most, as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then it led to the little promo thing afterwards. And I thought Speedball shined in this. And I liked everything that was involved with this opening segment.
Speedball was good. The pre-tape from Ricochet,
it is what it is. But congrats. Congrats. He's getting married. There are more important things.
He and Samantha, absolutely.
Yeah, so congrats to them. But
little pissed that I'm not with her and he is, but that's what
I was glad that he wasn't wearing a dumb hat on his head this week.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And that his 3-way match in Dynasty is gonna be stupid. Just gonna be stupid. I would open the show with it if I'm Tony.
I would think that would be the way to go. I would think that would be the way. I can't expect. Look, in AEW always balls out with these pay-per-views, and obviously we're all going to be together to talk about it more in depth later this week. But I cannot expect that there will be many matches that will outperform this one with these three guys.
Yeah, we're going to see some.
Yeah,
athleticism.
Speedball. For people that don't know a ton about Speedball. And I might be a little biased. He's a friend of LPW and love wrestling, and I've got the pleasure to meet him a few times. He's a sweetheart of a man. But like that guy is going to be a superstar in AEW.
He's already over with the crowds.
Yeah,
the reaction,
and he's going to continue to win people over week after week, like in the ring, on the mic. Like that guy is money. This is a real good spot. They've done him well to kind of throw him into this right away too. I think they've done we've seen two people kind of debut recently, one on the women's side and one on the men's side, that I think AEW so far has knocked it out of the park with these people. And Speedball so far, I think, is there.
Yep. One thing I can't get on the train with is this Chris Jericho stuff. Haven't been able to for a while. So ready to just get it over with. He was talking about stealing Gravity's mask, but he did chew out Brian Keith and Big Bill a little bit. So that's an interesting wrinkle to the story going forward. But I'm ready for Bandito to get this ROH title off of Jericho. It's time.
It's going to happen, right? Obviously, it's mask versus title.
Yeah.
I would highly doubt that Bandito would go the route of losing his mask.
Yep.
So I think hopefully it would be imminent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Again, I'm not somebody that hates on Jericho like other people. Like, it's fine. I feel like he starts these things, and most of the time we roll our eyes at them, but then he makes them kind of entertaining at first, and then they just go on for too long. And it's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this now.
Yep.
And I feel like that's where we're at. We're all past the I'm done with this phase.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I think Big Bill is truly an emerging star here.
I do too.
And I think he needs to become one of those sooner than later.
Can he change his name?
You've wanted him to change his name forever since
that name's over though. But that name's over though. It's over with the crowd.
I know. I just
yeah.
I can't stand Big Bill.
Well, and Big Bill and Brian Keith are going to be the challengers of the Hurt Syndicate. They had to pivot from the Murder Machines because Brian Cage knee injury, which unfortunate. Hopefully he gets better soon. Shep, I know you're not a Brian Cage guy, but
I know I would never hurt anybody.
You would never root for
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Even Brian Cage, I don't. I feel bad for him.
You don't like Brian Cage, huh?
He doesn't.
Just not my guy. He's just not my guy.
When he caught, it was a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, he was wrestling somebody, and they did a suicide dive through the ropes, and he caught them, and in one motion, suplexed them onto the floor. And I was like, how is this guy not like a world champion somewhere? I'd never seen a move like that before.
I guess I watched a lot of him in TNA. And if you guys remember the debacle of him winning the TNA championship with Austin Aries, and Austin Aries no-sold it and just completely trashed Brian Cage. And not that that's what made me dislike Brian Cage. It's just I never thought he fit well in AEW, and maybe the storylines they put him in. And he came out with the he was I'm not a big Marvel guy, but he was the Wolverine?
Swolverine is what he called himself.
Yeah, Swolverine. Yeah. I wasn't into that. I don't think he's a bad professional wrestler. He's never been taking the hook from Shep. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
I agree, Steffi. That's one thing we can all agree about Austin Aries.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that shit he did when he dropped the title to Cage was bullshit, but whatever.
Yep. Up next, we had MJF and MVP come out to the ring, seeing if MJF was going to accept the Hurt Syndicate's offer. Basically, we still didn't get an answer, but Bobby Lashley's not big on him being in the group. And then, of course, like I said, Brian Keith, Big Bill, they're going to be challenging Hurt Syndicate. They came out as well. Do you guys think this is a way to get Hammerstone and Holiday into AEW?
Wow, that was a left field question, but
I think yeah. I think this is a catalyst to that. I was not expecting MJF to say that he wanted to join.
Right.
So they did that, and I was like, oh, okay. And then when Bobby and Shelton came out, and Bobby was particularly like, nah, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it, just created an angle that I'm excited to see, like how they go about this. Like, is he reluctantly going to be a part of it, and like Bobby keeps an eye on him, or does this blow everything up? Or I'm very interested.
So where do you go with MJF now? Since they ripped the business card up, right?
But MVP still wants him though.
Yes, he does.
So
Because MVP's like, hey, if you don't want him, we won't do it. But the reasons why you're skeptical is why I do want him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of the angle that MVP threw. So MVP still wants him, but he did say he'll go with the group if the group says we don't want him.
And when they did that backstage angle, I thought we were going to get a shot after they left of like MJF standing around the corner or something, listening to that conversation. Kind of like I always go back to Batista years ago on that build with Evolution when he the whole thumbs down thing to Triple H when he was around the corner listening to Flair and Triple H kind of dog on him. I thought we were going to get something kind of like that, but we didn't. But yeah, it's definitely I'm more invested into this week than I was last week. After this,
and I do feel like there are those rumors that MJF is going to get the group that he kind of had when he was on the Indies, which was
called the Dynasty, right?
The Dynasty, I believe it was called, and it was Hammerstone, him, and Holiday.
Yep,
and Holiday has already done some AEW work. Hammerstone just finished up with TNA, so he's a free agent. I do think if you were going to get MJF a group when this goes sour to kind of do the 6-man or kind of do whatever you want, that would be logical. And it immediately makes 2 new guys important. Immediate.
Yep. I'm not huge on putting MJF in another faction, but I think these 2 guys with the history would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I feel like MJF is at a point where even though he's back to being the pompous prick that we're used to, like he to me is above the group stage.
Yeah.
He needed it as he was growing to become the main eventer, and they did the thing with Adam Cole and that whatever for what fine. But like he's a main event, he's one of the guys now. He doesn't need to have a henchman or muscle. Like he backs it up in the ring because he's really good at wrestling. So even though we all hate him and want him to lose, he's just good and he wins. And that makes it worse for the fans that don't like him because we know we can't tell him anything because he backs it up.
Yep.
And that's just
100%.
Yeah.
So assuming MJF's not the long-term fit in the Hurt Syndicate, and they've made it obvious they want to add another member, who could you guys see them adding that would make sense for a long-term fit?
Go for it.
The guy that they announced that they signed last night on Collision, Kevin Knight.
Boom.
I would very much like Kevin Knight. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. That would be a high choice for me.
Yep.
Obvious choice, Cedric Alexander as well, if they could bring him in.
And he's open to it. I know there was a lot of question marks with his wife and how she Big Swole exited, but he said no.
Cedric Alexander would obviously fit in perfectly. We know he would probably, if he's willing to do it, that would be a hit. But I'm telling you, that Kevin Knight guy,
he impressed me last night.
He would be wonderful. He would be wonderful.
Stephen Chambers saying Keith Lee. I'm hoping
if he was
Keith
healthy
comes back soon.
Yeah, if he's healthy and everything good, I would love to see him. I love Keith Lee, but at this point, I don't know if you can kind of bank on him ever, until we know more or see him again. But I thought Powerhouse Hobbs would have been fun at first. Like kind of get like a super duper, like obviously Bobby's a super duper big guy, but if you got a younger super duper big guy, I think that could work. But yeah, I like Kevin Knight. I like Kevin Knight.
I do too. He was. I wasn't too familiar. I mean, I had heard of his name through New Japan and in other promotions, but I had never really seen him work till last night against Jay White. And I know he's going against Jay, one of the best in the world. But I was really impressed. I was really impressed. Stephen Chambers says merge Hurt Syndicate with Shane Taylor Promotions. I think they're both okay.
How about we just make Shane Taylor the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion? How about we just do that?
Yes.
I'd be good with
that. How about we just do that, please? That'd be good for me. That'd be good for me.
I think Shane Taylor Promotions is ROH. Hurt Syndicate is AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. But give them all the gold. Give Trisha Dora the when Athena is clearly, which we'll talk about, I'm assuming, making her way over to AEW, it feels like. Give Trisha, not give, but like yes. Truly. Trisha Dora, Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Give the Infantry the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Shane Taylor, the Ring of Honor. Let them run the show. Let them run the show for a little bit, please.
Yep. Kyle Fletcher, Brody King, pretty good match. Like we knew it was going to be. Fletcher got the win. I don't really have anything else to say about it, but he's a emerging star every time he gets in the ring. And Brody King, I tweeted this and got a positive response. I said, this might sound weird, but in my opinion, Malachi Black leaving AEW will be the best thing ever for Brody King's career.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I would agree. I need him to start winning matches, though.
Yes.
I love that guy, dude. He is so different than everybody else, and I love him. And he's a beast.
So athletic.
I've never seen
athletic.
I've never seen that type of package, like a big dude that's that athletic, but he's also brutal. He looks awesome with the tattoo. Like I've never seen anybody like him. And I want him to win matches, and I want him to win titles. And
like Chief said, why is he losing?
Yeah.
He's over with the crowd.
Yeah. And it's like, he just needs to win more.
Yeah, that was a good spot with Fletcher hitting the brainbuster off the top turnbuckle to Brody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Fletcher's a stud,
he
too.
has one or two spots. Yeah, he is.
He's a stud, dude. What's he, 25?
After
26, something like that. Something ridiculous.
It's getting better and better.
God to be 25 again.
I know.
Powerhouse Hobbs, Mark Davis got into it after the match, and then they made a match on the fly, and that was a fun meat match. Big men slapping meat. Powerhouse got the win, as he should. They're giving him a nice little push, but I also like what they're doing with Mark Davis. I do. They're letting him get some shine too lately, and I wasn't so sure when he came back and turned heel, and I'm like, I don't know, but it's been working. It's been working.
Yeah, I thought he looked the best in the 4-way.
Oh yeah,
they did really last week. I thought they made him look the best in that match. Like they really gave him a lot of shine in that match, and I thought it did well for him.
And this next spot, this was one of my favorite things at Dynamite this week. It was the sit down that Shivani did with Cope and FTR. Oh. I loved it. I thought it was so well done. And Shep, I know you're a big FTR guy, so I want your opinion here, but I liked it. I mean, you could tell Dax is like, doesn't want to do it really.
Dax is not on the same page as Wheeler and Cope.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was obvious. And obviously watching Collision this week too, we saw the same we saw the same instance. But like the only thing I can think of, Dax is not going to go on a singles run as a heel.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, not that his wrestling couldn't, keep up with it. It just doesn't fit. So I don't know. When Cope and Cash said something about
flip
going
that around.
When they said let's go for the trios champion, and he's like, oh yeah, I guess I can do that too. It just just showed me they're not on the same page.
So
I think JPJ and I are on the same page here with what he's going to say.
I think this is the start of eventually getting back to, I'm going to say him by the wrong name, but Edge and Christian.
Yes.
I think this is the start. I think this is the start till we get the reunion. Because what I think, I do agree, FTR is going to split with Copeland, but I am not. Right now, I'm torn of whether it's FTR that does the turning on Copeland or it's Copeland that does the turning on FTR.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Copeland, because Christian is having problems with Nick Wayne now over in the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we are, they're not kind of, though, because Nick Wayne cost Copeland the match last week. So they kind of are intertwined. But I do think, I don't know. I think we're going to get a 6-man with rated FTR versus Christian, Nick Wayne, and Kip Sabian at some point. And I could see Edge and Christian, Copeland and Christian ending up together.
Yep.
Coming out of that match. And then at All In Texas, FTR versus Edge and Christian, that's quite a big match for All In Texas. If you want to do that. And I feel like that might be what we're doing.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think there's definitely we're going to get some seeds planted here soon.
Yes.
Kind of on both sides there. But yeah, we're going to see them get back together one more time. Before.
Mama Wayne has not let me have any backside information, just to let you guys know.
It's all right. But I think the crowd will heavily buy into a Copeland and Christian tag team title run.
Oh,
Heavily.
the reunion would be they blow the roof off something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And them going after the Hurt Syndicate for the titles, like that's big money stuff. That's big money stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where we're heading. I don't know how soon, but I feel like they're planting the seeds right now that eventually we're going to get these guys as a team. Whether they're as baby faces or heels, that needs to be ironed out before I don't know which way they go, but I think we're getting it soon.
Yep.
I think we're getting it soon. Yeah.
I agree. Swerve Strickland, we see him waste no time, call out John Moxley. Moxley comes down, and I thought Swerve smoked him on the mic, to be honest. I thought it was really good. Swerve had a callback to Moxley's Dean Ambrose days a little bit. Man, I thought it was good stuff. Of course, Death Rider's trying to play the number game, but Will Nightingale came down and got into it with Marina Shafir, which is we'll get into her stuff from Collision too. I thought this was pretty good. It's gonna be a quick build, of course, to the Dynasty main event, but I thought it was good.
Are we gonna see Marina in a match? When's the last time we saw her in a match?
They're doing a mixed tag.
Well, she's Wednesday. In the mixed tag this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, before that, I mean, since she joined
I would expect her and Willow will have a one-on-one at Dynasty. I would be total, even if you notice how they both had weapons, if you want to make it a street fight or make it some sort of weapon, something. But I think her and Willow should have a one-on-one match at Dynasty.
I think that'll be added on Wednesday.
It should be. After Wednesday, maybe after the match on Wednesday, they add that on there. I think they should. I
would love to see 2 women's title matches and an extra women's match that has a good story with it. Sign me up.
Yep.
Women's division is cooking right now in AEW. So
I agree. Absolutely. I loved this segment. I love the callbacks by Swerve. And the thing that Swerve has is like, Moxley. I did think Swerve won this promo battle. I wouldn't say I liked what Moxley said here. It's odd because I feel like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, they're starting to give me stuff that are making the Death Riders more intriguing to me. And it's like, why did it take 8 months for us to get here? Like now I care about them, but I'm already past the point where I need the title off of Mox. But now you're doing stuff that I'm like, I gotta dig this now. I kind of dig it a little bit. But I love the line where Mox was like, my sport's been taken over by billionaires and Instagram kids. And you're one of the people that I look at that gives me hope and makes me think that what I sacrificed my body for was worth it. So he was like kind of putting over Swerve while I like that line. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this. I think we all know that Swerve can get as dark as Moxley. That's the thing, right? We've seen Swerve get as dark as Moxley in the ring. So like, we know he can match up with him when it goes like that. So I think did anybody notice, like, you had Prince Nana on the ring, and then Claudio comes behind him, and he stood behind him, but with the camera angle and stuff, is it me or did it take forever for him to realize that Claudio was behind him?
Yeah, it did.
But I think that was the plan, though.
Yeah.
Was it?
Because Swerve saw, Moxley saw, but Nana didn't at first. And even Moxley on the mic was like, we're chilling. I loved that. I like.
He said we're chilling. Then
he was kind of like a crime boss there. Like he was kind of like, hey, I know you see, like at any moment I can have you do done, but we're chilling. We're having a good time. We're just having a conversation. We're cool. We're cool. Nobody needs to be alarmed. Just keep it chill.
Okay.
But yeah. And I loved Moxley kind of getting in Willow's face even at the end of it and just being like, yo, relax. Like, take it easy. Like,
I think she would have taken him on. With her attitude
I liked everything they did there. I liked everything. And I love a mixed tag. I love a good mixed tag.
Yep. So. Me too. Backstage, we saw Samoa Joe and Hook.
Oh, what? Great comedy. Great comedy.
Choking out Max Cass. But did you guys hear? The crowd started doing the chant with Max. It's starting to get over. It's working.
Yep. It is.
But I'm ready for Bowens to come back and for us to get that match.
Yeah.
Sooner and later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
but,
think if he ends up having one of those at Dynasty somehow, it would be
Yep.
Bowens. That would be the guy.
Yep. But he, it was a good comedy. It's just, it's entertainment. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chief here. Swerve Mox has me sold. If I wasn't going to Mania already, would have made the 1 hour drive to Philly to see them.
Yep. It's worth it.
Have fun at Mania. Excuse me. Next match, I honestly didn't have much on it. I mean, they did it because they're the hometown boys. Top Flight versus Devo Knight and Alex Finley. Top Flight went over pretty quickly. So nice little hometown match.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
So Takeshita take on Mark Briscoe. Takeshita got the match, but entertaining. Anytime Mark Briscoe's in the match, it's going to be entertaining. He's going to have entertaining spots. Some physical spots. But I don't know what's next for Takeshita after losing the title to Kenny. I don't know.
I think we see him.
Put him in the Owen.
Right. Yeah. I think he's right back in the Owen, and I think he goes right down to the finals with the Hangman. So,
Okay.
I mean, him and Hangman in the finals just beat the living tart of each other.
Well, so far on the men's side, we have Jay White after last night, Hangman and Ospreay. And I think the brackets are going to be announced Wednesday night. So
yeah. So
on the women's side, we already have like 6 women, I think, already in it. So
you know, but you look at those guys and you're thinking Ospreay, and I still think Hangman is the guy that's going to emerge out of that.
Okay.
That's fair. I'm a little torn about Takeshita because does anybody know when his AEW contract expires?
I do not.
No.
I know he's under 3 contracts.
Yeah, I know he's under 3, but I don't know how many of them. I mean, I could see. I have a pal, Mr. Warren Hayes, and he's convinced that once his AEW contract is up, he's going to go to Japan and be like New Japan's main guy, like the new main guy over in New Japan.
I can see that. I mean,
you look at him and you're like,
there's no argument there,
right? Like he is that next line of
dude.
He's so good. Like he's a dude. That's what he is, right? Like he is one of those guys. So I don't know. To me, he's a guy that even though they've made him a heel and with Don Callis, the crowd cheers for him all the time. The crowd just they don't really boo Takeshita, even when he is being the bad guy, because he's just so good. He's so good.
He is.
I don't really know where he goes. I really don't know where he goes.
So I look at Takeshita, and I've seen him in person up in South Bend for Warrior Wrestling. And I was just shocked how big, and he's just a monster. He could be an outside linebacker in the NFL.
This guy.
We got to run in. We got to run in.
Run in.
Here he is.
That's awesome.
The star of the show. Making his presence felt.
And so I feel like when he goes over to Japan, those guys aren't as big. And this guy's got the size, like I said. So I feel like he goes over to Japan, he can excel, and his size will put him up there. Obviously, he can work, so that helps too. But yeah, I can see that 100%.
January 2026. From what
I feel one of the best. So, all right. So then, I don't know. I do feel like the Owen is a natural thing for him. I feel like if
he muted himself.
He muted it. Cat was tired of hearing his dad.
He gave us the one finger. Like 1 minute.
Can't hear you. Can you hear him, Shep? I got nothing.
I can't hear him either.
Okay.
It's all right.
Lou hates audio.
I'm here. You can hear me now, right?
There we go.
There we go.
See, this is the drawback of having Lou show up, because this whole empty desk section right here where he can sit down, he goes, "No, I'm going to sit right below your microphone," and he knocks my stuff up.
That's great. I love it.
It hopefully won't happen that often, Lewis, if you want to get over here, dude. But other than that, fine. Sorry. My
That's
B.
great.
I didn't know my cat
That's
would
great.
come in here and be a
Oh,
new,
that's a
little,
highlight.
little menace. But anyway,
That's a highlight.
sorry.
That's a highlight. One thing I love this week with Dynamite, 2 weeks in a row, we've got the women main eventing, closing out the show. I've preached this for years that why are we only getting one women's match? They're barely getting time. Now they're starting to get not only the main event women's scene right, but other stories going. The women's division is starting to cook in AEW.
But when you have a women's division leading with Toni Storm in this whole story she's doing, how can you not give her the name?
I know, but they've had the talent and the depth for years and they've done nothing with it.
No, well, hold on. They've had the talent for years. I don't know if they've had this type of talent where she can talk. Her promos are entertaining. They make us all laugh. Like, you might have some girls that can wrestle, don't get me wrong, but you don't have girls that can perform like Toni Storm. And you know what? She elevated some girls, aka Thunder Rosa, in this past week. You know, Thunder Tits. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I've been very critical of Thunder Rosa.
You have been.
She's put some matches on that I've loved. I loved them. And then I'm like, man, she's awful. She's, ring rust or whatever. It just doesn't click. But you pair with Toni Storm and all of a sudden, again, I'm a fan. So that tells you anything with Toni Storm is just to the moon, rocket ship, $1 million. Let's go.
And you're talking about rocket ship. That's what they're doing to Megan Bang right now. And she looks the part. And good for Penelope Ford. Hitching to that wagon too, getting TV time, picking up a win in the main event. I was surprised they had Tony eat the pin. That surprised me a little bit. I don't think it's a bad thing. In the long run, I don't think it's a bad thing.
I'm on the train that they should have Megan Bang go over at
I'm
Dynasty
starting
and
to
win
get
the
there.
title.
I'm starting to get there.
I think you just do it. I think
As
you just
good
do
as
it.
Tony is,
Tony's fantastic, but a loss does not hurt her at all, and you have a chance to make somebody.
Yeah,
Megan Bang, like literally make somebody, and I think they should do it. I think they should do it.
And Steven Chambers, Mercedes going to get some help. Looks like the Renegade twins. Don't be surprised if Mercedes wins the Owen Hart Tournament. Another belt to her waist. It's definitely a story to follow. Chief, I wouldn't be surprised if Megan Bang wins the title at Dynasty. I feel Toni Storm is over in a different level. Losing the title won't hurt her.
I believe.
And it could make a new superstar.
Big time. Jeez.
Yep.
What the hell are you doing, buddy?
Yep.
Oh, God.
And Steven says, looks like Hater's going to get the ROH women's title.
The worst.
You know what? If we got to get the title off of Athena, because I think Athena can be main event attraction. Let's go.
I agree.
I think Athena could be a Collision staple. I feel like they've looked for somebody to build Collision around since Punk left or got fired, whatever you want to call it. And if you're looking in the women's division, I think Athena would be a perfect fit to build that show around.
Sure.
Yep, big time. I fully agree.
Yep. And Toni Storm kicked off Collision last night. Fun promo. Talk about Megan Bang in only a way Toni Storm could do so. She's what'd you say? Squashing watermelons and eating babies.
Yeah. I loved it. Toni talks in a way that she's just hitting it on all platforms right now.
She said she's going to leave Dynasty with Megan Bang's tits in her purse. I mean,
all the innuendos and just everything. It's just perfect. It's just perfect.
Yes. But Megan Bang did come out and they started brawling and Megan Bang got the best of her. I guess we're calling her F5 maneuver Fate's Descent.
Fate's
This is the
Descent.
official name. Okay. Maybe that'll warm up on me, but
Sure.
I do love that she uses the F5. I've never seen a woman do that. I've never even really seen another guy. Wardlow kind of had a version of it for a while, but yeah, it's awesome.
Yep, I like it. I think they're doing wonders. they've made her just look like $1 million immediately.
Yeah, like Martin said, their last promo, Tony talked about Shep on. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get out of Tony. You never know what you're going to get. And we are getting Tony Storm versus Penelope Ford on Dynamite. And Penelope was the one to blindside Megan Bain. My mistake. I said Megan Bain. Penelope blindside Tony Storm. And I love the camera angle there.
I was just going to say,
Just
very
pops
cool
up.
camera.
That was cool.
Very
That
cool
was-
camera shot.
that was neat.
That was different. That was different.
That was neat. Chief said, still calling it the F5. Sorry, I'm a fed kid. That's all right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with that. I like the video we got from the Death Riders. Claudio calling out Cope for Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you're losing your edge and you're just trying to cope with it. Nice play on words there.
Yeah, I like that.
I like how Mox said he's only feared 3 women, his mom, his sister, and his wife until he met Marina, giving Marina the rub there. And Marina talks. And she talks and she's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Talking, and she tells Willow to try to keep smiling while I shove your liver down your throat. And Mox, I love Mox's reaction. He's just like,
and he kind of like, and he just kind of walks up.
We're just gonna leave it be.
Yeah,
that was great.
Good stuff.
That was great. Yeah. That's that. I agree with the JBJ. What they're starting to do with the Death Riders, I'm starting to kind of feel it, but it's like, yeah, why did it take this long? It just.
That's my thing, right? Like now they're kind of intriguing. Yep. And I'm like, why weren't they like this the whole time? Because it was just kind of rinse and repeat, kind of boring. But now it's like, I like what they're doing now. It's like, but you're already past the point of like everyone wanting this to be over with.
So JPJ, I've talked about this last couple of weeks. To me, and I agree with Busted Open and Bully Ray. Mox is not a heel; he's a face. Are you in the same category?
Look, he's acting like a heel clearly, but I just feel like Mox is at that level where like we don't want to boo him.
Mm-hmm.
No,
you know what I mean.
We don't want to boo him. We don't want to boo him. We enjoy his work.
Yeah, he's like he's to me, he's Mr. AEW to me. Like I look at AEW and I'm like, Mox is the guy to me that has been the standard bearer since day one of AEW. Like obviously the Bucks and Kenny and Cody were there at the start and they were the they did that. But like to me, if I'm picking anybody as like who Mr. AEW has been, it's Moxley. He's the guy that didn't go on vacations and stuck around when things were getting shitty. He's the guy that you heard the reports, him and Jericho and a few others would like take control of the locker room when things were getting wild and think like he's the guy to me. And yeah, you want to call it legend status, whatever you want to call it. He's at that level that like, I don't think the crowd wants to boo him. They just want to, it's Moxley. He's an attraction.
Okay.
And so I think that's part of it.
We agree upon that. So does it hurt his current character when he's trying to be a heel against whoever, right?
For me, it doesn't hurt the character at all. For me, it's because the stories haven't been, it's not because of like who he is or the character for me. It's just, there's been no juice to these stories really. It's all been the same. Okay. All right. He has a new guy that's trying to steal the belt back for AEW and then his people come and help him win at the end. And that's it. You know what I mean? So there's been really, I think I'm going to be honest, probably part of the reason why it's so intriguing now is because he's going against Swerve and Swerve is one of one. So that might be part of the reason why it feels different than the other ones because Swerve is also at a different level than almost everybody else. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But
Yep. And getting some comments about Vin Wagner being on Security Dynamite. Yeah. He's from Minnesota, I believe. So that made a lot of sense. And he also got a match at ROH as well.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Minnesota.
We saw Jay White go over Kevin Knight. We kind of talked about that earlier, but good match. I loved how Kevin White did a wrist lock of some sort, and Jay White's like, "You trained at the dojo," and Kevin's like, "You already know." So I was like, that was cool. That was cool. And Jay White was laying in some chops on Kevin, but I liked it wasn't a squash match. He got plenty of offense in. Looked good.
Won the crowd over too.
Jay White gave him some flowers on the mic after the match, and then entered himself into the 0-1. So Yeah, good stuff.
I thought so too. I thought, and Kevin, they gave him the full entrance after Jay White. Like Jay White got the entrance first, and then Kevin Knight was the second entrance. They gave him the full entrance, and you could hear the crowd. A lot of them didn't know who he was. Like there wasn't a huge reaction, but by the end of the match, he won them over. And when Jay White put him over, the crowd was like chanting his name, and like he did very well. That was a very, very good performance. And you could tell on commentary. And then he got the graphic after. He's officially, with AEW now. Like that's a good signing. Like that was a great, great performance.
Yeah, and I thought Shivani and McGinnis, and I love their commentary. I think they work really well together. I thought they did really good on this match. Nigel explaining a lot of Kevin Knight's moves, what he calls them, and then Shivani at the end saying he's all elite. Yeah, I thought they did really good.
Yeah,
AEW's got very good commentary teams or pairings, and I don't think enough people give them credit because they got a lot. I know Shep, you're disagreeing with me a little bit.
You know how I feel about.
You're still not an Excalibur fan. I know that.
I'm not an Excalibur fan, but it's okay.
If you're not on the train now, I don't think you're going to be after this.
Yeah, you know what, though? Back with Taz, I think Taz does a great job. I love Tony. I mean, Tony was – fuck. When I was a teenager, I listened to Tony Schiavone, right?
Yeah, he was WCW.
Yeah, that was me. And fucking Monday Night Wars, I listened to Tony Schiavone. I was team Tony Schiavone. So that was there. I sometimes Excalibur just makes me go, oh man, you're really good at this. And sometimes he goes, holy shit, you suck at this. I get it. Give or take.
I think when Dynamite has Ian Riccaboni there as the third guy, and it's Excalibur, Taz, and Riccaboni. Perfect.
Riccaboni's
really good. He's even good as the number 2 guy too. Like he's so good. I know he doesn't want to travel a lot, and he doesn't need to. So it is what it is. But if they could make that, if they did if you did Excalibur, Ian, and Taz on Wednesdays, and then you did Tony and Nigel on Saturdays, I think that's
well. When Taz was out with his knee or hip or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You had Ian there, and it was
so good.
So good.
Chief's having a question here about the Owen finals. I think the Owen finals are at Double or Nothing. It's going to kick off at Dynasty, the Owen. Finals are Double or Nothing with the winners getting a shot for the titles at All In.
All In.
I believe they haven't done a great job explaining it, I will say, but I think that is the plan. So,
yes.
Yeah. We had Mercedes Moné go over Robin Renegade. Which was fine. We've seen Robin many times on AEW. But after the match, Shivani gets in the ring. Monet's calling herself the greatest TBS champion of all time, which hard to debate. I mean, I know there's a lot of Jade Cargill fans, but I'm not gonna disagree with her. She said she's got to win the Owen, got to go to All In. Said Billy Starks has entered the cup. No, Shivani said that. She asked who trained her, and Athena then came to the ring to a real nice ovation. They circled each other. Mercedes ran at her with the belt, but Athena ducked, forearmed her. Renegade stood Mercedes up, and Athena went for the O-face, but Mercedes saw it and pushed Renegade in Athena's way. So I like that Athena's in the cup because I thought we were going to get this match at Dynasty. I'm like, that's too quick for my liking, for my taste. I see them mixing up in the Owen Hart Cup, and if I'm throwing a prediction out there, I think Billy Starks gets involved and either purposely or accidentally cost Athena.
Ooh.
Go ahead, JPJ.
I think that this has finals written all over it in the cup at Double or Nothing. We get Mercedes and Athena. It would make sense for Billy Starks to either help or cost Athena that match. But my mindset would be that Mercedes would win that match and be fighting for the main title at All In. Yeah. That would make sense to me.
Do you get the TBS title offer first?
Before, yeah, I would have maybe her and Athena. Maybe Billy does get involved, and then on the way to All In, they have the rematch for the TBS title, and that's when Athena takes it.
Yeah.
And then you can have Mercedes go over whoever the champion is at All In, whether it be Tony or Megan Bain or whoever you want to do. Most likely Tony, I would guess. I don't know though. Like I said, I would put the title on Megan Bain.
You don't want to share your cards yet, JPJ. We got
no. I gotta. I'm
predictions
not. That's why I'm not. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket yet. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's what I would think. I think this is the finals. Stretch it out to double or nothing, and then we go from there.
Majin, the Mercedes hater in the comments, saying he didn't hear what Mercedes said as usual. He had his TV muted. He says, Athena coming out to shut that hag up definitely gave me a no face. And then he's saying absolutely not for Mercedes.
Well, yeah, some people have taste and some people don't. So it is what it is.
Could you put the title on Megan Bain after the how am I going to say this? I'm trying to say this right. The way Toni Storm has portrayed this title, the way she's talked, the way she's portrayed herself, you put the title on Megan Bain. Can Megan Bain live up to what Toni Storm has done?
I mean,
we know she can work in the ring. I'm not taking that away.
Yeah.
I'm worried about all this mic work, right? It comes down to the mic work.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't have to. Like, I don't know. First of all, Megan Bain doesn't need to hold the title for a long time. Toni could win it right back if she wants. I just think you have. For me, they have an opportunity to kind of do something different than just because we've seen this happen on the men's side of things a lot. Somebody new comes along, they build them up, they get an early title match, they lose the title match, and then we never see them then it's inconsistent or we don't see. I don't want that to happen to Megan Bain. And like the way they presented her as this monster who is continually just dominating everybody, including the champion for a few weeks in a row. I don't know. I just feel like you have an opportunity to really cement her as someone who like truly matters immediately, as opposed to her losing this match. And then what? She moves down the card. And to me, it makes it harder to book her after she loses the match. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I think about like if you we're making her a big deal right now. Like she looks like a big deal. If she's looking this dominant, and again, Toni's in my opinion, one of the greats, but like if Toni just beats her, then again, it kind of makes what Megan Bain did on the road there like less impressive to me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she lost the match though. So what did all that matter besides her, Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
That's at least my mind frame of it, of why I would do that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
We saw the learning tree go over Top Flight, which no surprise because Big Bill and Keith Lee are going to be gunning for the Hurt Syndicate for tag titles. I mean, it hasn't been announced, I don't think officially, but it's. Oh, they did earn a title shot. Okay. Yes, it has. Let's see. We got Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole face to face. Of course, the Undisputed Kingdom and Daddy Magic. We're getting into it, and finally. Daniel Garcia said enough's enough. Nobody's going to be at ringside. No disqualification. We're getting the winner in this match. So Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia for the TNT title at Dynasty. Man, for weeks I'm like, okay, it's time to give Adam Cole some singles gold in AEW. Time to get the title off Garcia because they haven't done nothing with him. But I really thought this was a fiery promo out of him. And then I got to thinking, okay, maybe this is the match where they can start really doing something with him with this title run. So I'm kind of conflicted going into our prediction show now a little bit.
I'm with you, a little conflicted, but I feel like he hadn't done shit. So
yeah,
let's move on. So I'm not trying to give you my predictions, right? But
yeah, that is true. We are going to be competing for a title in a handful of days, so we got to keep it tight to the vest. But
and JPJ, it's probably going to be me versus you. Let's be honest. The other three guys don't stand a chance. So.
Listen, I am feeling confident going into this. I am feeling confident. But I will say, this is one of the few matches that I'm a little torn about. because I do feel like Adam Cole needs this. Kinda. Not really kinda. I feel like Adam Cole needs something like this since he's been back.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I also
Sure.
feel like they have done absolutely nothing with it. Like you built this moment to Daniel Garcia re-signing and winning this title, and then you have done jack shit with Daniel Garcia since he's won the title. And I think they've done a real disservice to him. But I look at this match and I'm like, Adam Cole should win this match. But then I'm also like, but Daniel Garcia deserves better than that.
Yeah. And so does that title. I mean,
Yeah.
that title, when it was
Yeah.
first presented in the company, was, right there, right below, especially when Cody had it, Brody Lee had it, Darby at first, was right below the heavyweight title. Now it's below the international.
Mhm.
It's, even though I don't like comparing men's titles and women's titles, but it's below the TBS. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
kind of, it's an afterthought. It's too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
They
I don't know.
private partied him.
They did.
As
Well, it's the
Bobby
same.
said.
It was right around the same time where they did those similar
Yeah.
stories right at the same
Yeah.
time.
Got
Where
the feel
they
good
they
moments. And then,
yeah, they got the feel good moments, but there was clearly no plan after the moments.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, well, when Private Party got a raw deal, and Daniel Garcia is getting a raw deal.
Yep.
So,
Shep, your boy, took the L. Dax Hartwood against Wheeler Yuta. Is this the part of the show that you were alluding to earlier that you had a problem with?
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time we saw Wheeler Yuta in the ring, like on a one-on-one? But I mean, I get it. It was all storytelling towards the end, just so we could see the whole interaction between Dax and Cash, right? And Cash Wheeler wasn't having any of it, so
Yeah, can't blame him.
yeah, no.
I mean, I want to see those. I want to see those guys have one more run, right? Which they might. We got plenty of time, but right now they're not on the same page, obviously,
Right.
and it's not going to work with them and Cope. So, we're going to see. I think obviously we're going to see a little bit of a heel run out of Dax, right?
Wheeler's getting called Captain Caveman, Caveman Wheeler, Wheeler useless. Wheeler's taking some strays here.
Yeah, I think he fought. Yeah, Wheeler fought.
Yeah,
Copeland one-on-one
yep.
a little bit
You're right.
ago.
That's when Copeland was going through the Death Riders.
Yes,
and Copeland tried to gave Wheeler some respect. It was right.
Yes.
It was a go-home show. Yeah, for Revolution. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Thank you, Drew.
Look at when Dax Harwood is in one-on-one matches, he usually loses them. He's a good one-on-one wrestler, but he doesn't win many one-on-one matches because he's a tag team specialist, and that's just how that goes. So I wasn't shocked that Wheeler Yuta got the victory. I think it adds intrigue because they're fighting on Dynamite for the trios. I mean, a Dynasty for the trios titles. So I would expect, because we're getting Adam Copeland versus Claudio on Wednesday. I would expect Adam Copeland goes over and kind of gets them even the odds heading into Dynasty. I think that's how they'll do it.
And Drew kind of alluding to what you said earlier, JBJ. That's why you guys host two shows together. He says he thinks FTR's ascension is an act as it's for a shocking turn on Copeland.
I'm still a little bit in between of who's going to turn on who, but I think at Dynasty, yes, I do think that will be the last time we see rated FTR.
Yep. Had a fun little run, sold some T-shirts.
Yep.
Got to work together as buddies, but it's probably time to do something. And I've been saying the last few weeks, I want to see FTR turn heel again. We've seen them as baby faces now for a couple years. Of course, they had a nice run in AEW when they got into the company as heels. I think it's time to turn them back again. And
I would agree.
Let them go that direction.
I would agree.
So, Steven said he could see Dax accidentally hitting Cope. Dynamite. Add another layer to it. Yeah. So, we saw a hologram win over Blake Christian. Good week for Blake Christian as far as AEW TV is concerned, getting the match on Dynamite and Collision. I'm a fan of hologram. I like his work. I just don't know what else you do with them right now besides
these
types of matches. I don't know. He's kind of, I mean,
Obviously, he's good in the ring, but
he's very good, but he can't really push him right now for a mid-card title.
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where he fits in, but I mean, he's impressive every time he's in the ring.
he's
The
there.
stuff with he and Harley Cameron is entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I think his matches are good. I like them, but I don't. I feel like they could do the Harley Graham stuff and like have her be his, like have them actually be an on-screen thing, and I think that could be a way to get him over if she like talked for him and kind of represent, like, I feel like that would be a way to go. But other than that, besides him doing these matches where everyone's just like oohs and ahs and like, oh, that was a good match, I don't really know. There's not much to him besides that right now. So
yeah, I think we always do at the end of the year. We always do predictions for who we think's going to hold the AEW titles by the end of the next calendar year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I had him holding the international title at the end of this year, and right now, almost start of April, I don't see that happening. So
yeah, no,
I
would
don't know.
agree.
I don't know. We got Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa both entering the Owen Cup. Also earlier in the show, Athena did as well. So the women, you got 6 women already on the Owen Hart Cup. So we only got 2 more to fill. We'll find out who those other 2 are on Wednesday night. So yeah, the Owen's gonna be awesome on both sides. It's good every year, but this year I think's really gonna be the real deal.
100%.
Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks main event at Collision. So we had both shows main event by the women's division this week, which is awesome. Good outing for Billy Starks. Jamie Hayter went over in the end, and after the match, we had Athena come out and stare down Jamie Hayter. So, and I know Steven earlier said that's what it looks like. Maybe the next ROH women's title feud, probably at the pay-per-view coming up in May. That's probably the direction. So, which
I mean,
that makes sense.
Jamie Hayter is quite a good choice. If you were going to make the move for Athena to make her way over, and I think Jamie Hayter is quite the representative that would be a great choice to take the Ring of Honor title from Athena and kind of run Ring of Honor for a little bit as Athena makes her permanent way over. I feel like that is a good choice.
Yeah, I want Athena on AEW more. I want Billy Starks on AEW, which I know she has been the last few weeks. But yeah, get those 2 on AEW. And I'm not ripping ROH, but it is behind a paywall. I don't pay for Honor Club, so I don't really watch a lot of ROH. I keep up with the dirt sheets of it. But yeah, I mean, we've always talked like, why is Athena not on AEW? Like it's just been a pet peeve of the pod. But good to see her on Saturday for sure.
1,000%.
So. But in your guys' opinion, what was the stronger show for AEW this week, Dynamite or Collision?
I'm on the fence. Man, I like both shows. I thought both shows were really delivered. If I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna go Dynamite. I really am.
Okay. I thought both shows were pretty good this week. I'm leaning Collision. I thought Collision was a little bit better and a little bit more enjoyable of a show this week for me.
Yeah, I'm going with Collision too, and that's usually not the way I lean. I usually am always a Dynamite guy, but I actually watched part of Collision last night because I was watching it later after basketball games and everything. End up falling asleep, so I rewatched it.
How'd Purdue do?
They played well. They played well. That was a good
They gave Houston everything they wanted.
Tanner, that was a basic inbound pass. It was a basic inbound play.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole.
I have to do my Final Four. Dang it!
I'm going to get pissed about what should have been a push off with 7 seconds. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole.
Sorry,
I know what you're trying to do.
I know.
It's starting to work.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Everyone breathe.
Yeah,
we're fine.
We're good.
We're fine.
All right.
We're good. You're going to make me bitter like Bret Hart behind me is to Goldberg.
I mean, my team didn't even make this field.
I know.
68.
I know they didn't. So yeah, I wouldn't say anything, but
that's all right.
A good week for AEW. They're really starting to cook. Dynasty a week from today. It's gonna be awesome in Philadelphia. Philly's always a hot crowd. They're starting to roll. And I'm not a guy that gets into ratings talks too often. I do see them on social media. Don't put a ton of stock into it, but I will say the ratings are slowly starting to climb a little bit. So. And that's even with the Max edition, and the Max numbers don't even count for these ratings. So they're starting to get things lined up again. I feel like they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the shows have been consistently good for a few months now. I think the women's division booking has been a lot better. Yeah, I just think the product seems to have righted itself, or is in the process of righting itself again. And kind of, I feel like they go in waves, but like they're figuring out what made them special at the beginning again.
Yep.
And I feel like the more they kind of get back to those roots of what the beginning was, that's when we see good stuff. And yeah, I mean, they nail their pay-per-views, man. They just don't have bad pay-per-views, and it is what it is. And I feel like we're going to get another good one next week. And as long as they can consistently keep doing this, I feel like they're going to be more than fine.
Well, we're going into Mania season, so I feel like they have to deliver on these pay-per-views, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know what they're going up against. So
yeah,
I feel like they're just going to hammer these pay-per-views, which I love.
And they got big shows coming up. JBJ talked about earlier. They're coming to the Boston area for spring breakthrough, which is going to be, they're going to really make that. That's the week of Mania. They're going to make that show big because that's the historic show that makes them go past WCW for the longest Turner wrestling show, which I can't wait to hear what Bischoff says about that. But they're going to have, and then Double or Nothing in May out in Phoenix. They're rocking and rolling. It's gonna be fun, and of course, Mania season's a fun time for any professional wrestling fan. Let's be honest. So, anything else you guys want to discuss before we wrap this up?
Who's your wrestler of the week? We gotta go there.
Oh
right?
shoot! Yeah, see,
Tanner.
That's where Paul's usually doing that. Yeah, wrestler of the week, AEW wrestler of the week.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go Megan Bain.
I like it.
Pinned the world champion clean to end Dynamite.
Yeah,
I think she's been dominating since we've seen her for the last month, and I think pinning the world champion a little over a week from your world championship match. Yeah, I think she's my wrestler of the week. I do.
Go for it, Tanner. Don't you dare take mine. I got one. I'm already locked in, loaded, but I don't think you will. But
man,
if you do, I'm gonna cuss you out.
This is tough. You're gonna cuss me out. Huh? It wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last time.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I'm trying to think. I like when we get newcomers on, even in losing efforts, as long as they have a good effort, not squash match. I'm going Kevin Knight.
Oh, okay. Let's go with that.
He was in my mind. He was in my mind.
I'm going Blake Christian.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
I like that guy. I thought, he was in.
You got a soft spot for GCW in your heart.
He does, but he was an NXT guy. He got shit on in NXT and moved on. Mm-hmm. And he worked really well for GCW for a while, a long time. I think he had a knee injury in the middle of that and came back. And so, yeah, he's my guy. But to get him on 2 shows, let's go, Blake Christian.
Yep. All right, Majin, you got a wrestling question for us. All right, we'll wrap the show up with your question. So hit us with it. What you got? This could be anything.
Yeah,
we don't
hurry
know.
up, huh?
Hey,
I got to watch White Lotus, huh? Let's go.
Majin,
gotta move on.
We all put maple syrup on our pancakes.
What?
You guys have 3 trades: 1 men's, 1 women's, and 1 tag/stable. Who of equal value would you trade from AEW and WWE? Okay. All right.
Holy shit, that's a lot of thinking.
Tough one to think about.
Can we answer this during the pick show?
Yeah. How about we do that?
Can I think about
during
this?
the prediction show? I like that. Good.
Can we table this so I can think about it because that's a lot off the top of the tongue.
And we can get Paul and Pluggo's answers too.
I want to think about this.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Yep. We'll do that. Good plan. But with that said, fun podcast. JPJ, go ahead and plug yourself, my man. As you take a drink.
I shall. No, it's okay. Remember to hydrate, kids. You can follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming everywhere on all social media platforms every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Love Wrestling CA. Me and Pluggo between Two Beards. We just had our 200th episode not too long ago. We are on the road to 300. That's where you can see me at Love Wrestling and my pal Drew in the chat. We do a show called Firmly Love Wrestling. We talk AEW on Thursdays, WWE on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's where you can find me there. And then on Body Slam after Monday Night Raw, I go over on bodyslam.net and I do the Raw Dogs post show over there with my pals Nick and Corey. I've been doing that. And then we do watch-alongs on my JPJ Loves Gaming channel for Raw and NXT. I got some personal stuff happening currently, so be on the lookout. I might have an announcement here. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the watch-alongs this coming week. But yeah, I do those over there too. So yeah, that's where you can follow me. That's where you can see all my wrestling stuff.
Busy man, but always pumping out good and entertaining content.
Trying.
So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can follow Kicking Out Podcast on all social media platforms at Kicking Out Pod. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts at. If that's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please be kind enough and give us that 5-star review and give us a rating. We like to have those, or 5-star rating and, wow, I screwed that up. 5-star rating and review. We like to have those reviews. This is why Paul usually does this. This is, wow. And you can follow me on social media at TannerLee92. You can follow Shep at TheShep27. And you can follow Paul at PaulZartman87. And if you want to support our podcast and look great doing so, you can get some of our merch at KickingOutShop.com. And we got t-shirts available also at on Pro Wrestling Tees. So I'm Tanner Lee. He's our KOP predictions champion for one more week. Austin Shepard and our buddy JPJ who will be joining us with Pluggo and with Paul for our Dynasty prediction show. Have a great week, everybody. Until next time, we'll be kicking out yet another podcast.
This is where I say goodbye and good night.